Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start with the second query language, that is relational algebra. Earlier we had a complete discussion towards SQL, in which we already studied DML, that is data manipulation language, and data definition language. The second query language with which we are going to deal is relational algebra. Basically, we are supposed to cover relational algebra first and then SQL, but as SQL resides with or resembles with English, we have gone for SQL first, and now we are going to learn relational algebra. We are going to see the introduction to the of that and how to use that language, how to write the queries using the relational algebra language. That we are going to see in today's discussion. So before going through this video, I request you to just recall all the SQL features and the way we have written queries uh, in past few lectures. So it will be comfortable for you to understand this aspect of DBMS, the relational algebra. What is a relational algebra? It is a procedural language. Again, a very similar language, a similar way of writing a query. But in this case, we are not going to write English statement, but we are going to write the algebraic representation of a query. Means we are going to write an expression which will have symbolic representation, symbols used, and it will look like a mathematical expression which will be acting as a query. Basically, when we write a query for a DBMS, we write a query in SQL that will be converted into relational algebra, and then it will be solved as an expression. These are the three stages which comes into picture when I am talking about solving a query or submitting a query to a DBMS. So relational algebra is rather means I can very clearly say that every query is going to be converted into relational algebra, but being a student of computer science or computer engineering, we are going to learn how to write the relational algebra directly instead of writing an SQL expression. Okay, so that we are going to see. So ultimately, it is also a procedural language, but it is an algebraic representation of a query than a, formal statement like representation. Okay, so there are basically six operators with the help of which we are going to work on. These all six operators, those are select, project, union, set difference, Cartesian product, and rename. These all are used in a form of symbols. So sigma symbol is used for select operation, project pi operation, pi symbol is used for project operation, u for union, minus for set difference, x for Cartesian product, and rho for rename. So these are the six basic operators with the help of which we are going to form an algebraic expression of relational algebra. Okay, so that is our main point of discussion. And this operator take one or more relations as input as operand and give a new relation as result. So of course, every query you are writing is going to give a relation as output. Okay, so it takes relation and it gives you a new relation which satisfies all your condition or all your needs or all your requirements you specified in the query. Okay, now when we discuss relational algebra, every time we are going to refer to SQL, which we learned earlier. That's why I'm asking you to refer to SQL first, go through the SQL first, and then only learn relational algebra. So these six operations are very familiar to you, and you have already used them in SQL. So its equivalent SQL operations are these. Okay, the clauses which we are making use of are these. So the select operation is equivalent to the where clause, in which we are proposing a condition. You are writing a predicate. The predicate which you want the resultant attributes, so resultant table must satisfy. So row, that is select operation, is equivalent to where. Project operation is equivalent to select. Okay, in select of SQL we are projecting the attributes which you want in the output. So project will make that job for you. So you please don't get confused in these two things, select and select. The select in array is different and select in SQL is different. Okay, so select project is equivalent to select. Union is union, is quite known. Set difference is except operation, means the entries from first table except the entries from second table, the minus operation. Cartesian product equivalent to the from clause, and this Cartesian product is the cross product which we have learnt in mathematics already, and we are going to have a elaborative discussion on this Cartesian product operation in the coming slides. And rename operation is the as operation, where we are renaming some existing or some new generated outputs. So as clause is equivalent to that. So where, select, union, except, from, and as are familiar to you, and the same concept we are going to make, same concept we are going to use in relational algebra with select, project, union, set difference, Cartesian product, and rename. Okay. One more which will be there for discussion is join operation. Join is the extension of these operations, and which plays a very important role as far as combining more than one relation is combining more than one relations comes into picture. So this is very important, that we are going to see later, that is join operation. Okay, join. I have intentionally skipped this discussion when we learnt about SQL. I wanted you to first understand the concept of join and then only apply it. So join is indicated with this symbol. Okay. So these are the 6 plus 1 additional operation which we are going to discuss in relational algebra. So let us see one by one these operations, how they work. And this is just a chart showing you what kind of operations are there. There are set operations like union, intersection, difference, and Cartesian product, which are applied on a set, and this set theory we have already learned in mathematics. There are specific database related operations. Those are selection, projection, join, set division. Those we are also going to explore, along with some set functions or aggregate functions which we learned in SQL also, that is average, sum, count, mean, max, and all. These are the operations which we are going to combine to form a relational algebra query expression which will be fired to a database, and we are going to get the answer. So let us start with the select operation. Select operation in relational algebra is the row operation. Sorry, not row, sigma operation. Okay, this sigma operation, select operation, is very different than SQL operation. Select means apply a condition on the relation. Let us go for a simple example directly. First we'll go for the example and then we'll go for the formal definition of select. So let us consider this is the relation where A, B, C, D are the columns or domains or attributes of that table, and the values which are represented by the tuples or rows in this table. Now if I apply some condition here, let us say that I am applying this condition. So it will be applied in this way, sigma, to that the subscript will be the conditions which you want to put. Conditions which you want to put. These are the predicates. These are the conditions which we are mentioning in where clause of SQL. Okay. Similarly, the conditions are mentioned with as a subscript of sigma in array. There we are writing in where. Here we are writing in with sigma. So I want the first condition is A should be equal to B. So A should be equal to B, in which cases we have A is equal to B, in this case, in this case, and in this case. Okay, these are the 3 cases in which we have A is equal to B, and this indicates and D is greater than 5. So out of these 3, D is greater than 5 in this case and in this case, only in 2 cases. So this and this will be projected. Only 2 rows will be selected and will be placed in the output. So thus select, what we are saying here, select from R which satisfy this predicate. Okay, which satisfy this predicate. So general form of this is select from relation R which satisfy these conditions, and this will be the output of it. Okay, I don't think it is very difficult to understand. So thus select operation is used to apply a condition and select those uh, rows which are satisfying the uh, output, or sorry, predicate. Fine. So when we'll go for a formal definition of it, the formal definition says, notation is just now I have said, where P is called as the selection predicate. The predicate means conditions based on which we are going to select the rows. The formal definition is something like this, which is saying that T are those tuples which belong to R and also which belong to the set where P, that is condition, is satisfied. That is the means how we are going to read it. Sigma PR is equal to all those tuples which belong to R, that T belongs to R, which belong to R and also satisfy the condition of P. That means they are the set of function P, where P is the formula in the prepositional calculus consisting of the terms connected by and, or, and not. So these conditions we can put. When we'll solve some queries, you'll be understanding how easily we can put all these things. Okay, we can have a single condition also. Predicate can be one condition, or predicate can be more than one conditions connected with and, or, and not. Okay, and also we can that condition, that term can be indicated using this equal to, not equal to, greater than, equal to, less than, all kind of operations. So the term will be used in this particular fashion. Okay, operand, attribute, operator compared with attribute or compared with constant. So these are the formal definitions, and this is an example. What this will do? It will print all the rows from account, all the rows. Select the rows. Okay, all the rows from account which has branch name is equal to parentage. So ultimately, it is returning me all the account details from branch parentage. So I am taking the example of banking schema only, which is well known to you. Keep that example for reference, so it will be easy for you. So in this way, it is going to print a table which will have all the branch name attribute as. So it will have account number, branch name, and balance. So we'll have all the branch names as very rich, and rest of the details will also be presented. Okay. So this select means ultimately the where clause, where we are not we are printing all the rows. But every time we don't need to print all the things. Let us say that this query I just want to modify as um, print the account numbers, only account numbers of all the accounts from branch parentage. So at that time in the output I don't need these two. I need only account numbers. For that we have the second operation, that is project operation. As I said you earlier, it is defined with the help of symbol pi, and now this is equivalent to select operation in select clause in your SQL. Don't get confused. Okay, project is equivalent to select operation in the SQL. So how it can be done? So let us say that this is your relation, and now this is the way I can make use of project A comma C R. So project only attribute A and attribute C from relation R. What is relation R? Relation R is this. I just want to project A and C. So A and C are projected, only B is now eliminated, and only these two are projected. We will also avoid the duplicate entries. So only 3 entries will be there because these 2 entries are exactly similar. So those will be, that will be combined together. So now what we have done here, projected only the selected attribute. Is it the same thing we are doing with select? Yes. We are doing with select. In select of SQL, we are listing out all the attributes which I want in the output. Here with project, I am listing out all the operations which, all the attributes which I want in the output. Okay. Remember, the project and select operation can be used together, can be used combinedly. In the sense, I can write it as you have written here, A comma C. I can, in bracket, I can have, let us say that wherever B is equal to, B is greater than 20, let us say that, from R. Now what will happen here? First, this relation R will be taken into consideration. This condition, this predicate will be applied. So wherever B is greater than 20, so first and second, okay, these two are in picture. These two rows will be selected, out of which only A and C attribute will be projected. So what output I am going to get? This as A, this as C. But now, unlike the previous one, I am going to have beta 1 and beta 2. Okay, so this condition is satisfied, as well as this projection is also printed. So yes, I can use project operation and select operation in array together, the way we are making use of select operation and where operation in SQL. If you remember SQL, without where I can write select. It is possible. So that's what it is done here. Here it is ultimately what is this? Equivalent to equivalent SQL statement is, isn't it? Isn't it equivalent to this statement? Yes. Select AC from R. We don't need where here. But in this case, what will happen in this case? I'm actually applying a condition here. So आप देख सकते हो, you can see where B is greater than 20. This condition I have applied. Now can you match this? Where is equivalent to sigma, select is equivalent to pi, and from will come into the bracket. Okay, so this way we can make use of or we can convert a simple SQL query into a relational algebra expression. Coming to the next one, the formal definition of project is something like this. The notation is pi a1 a2 till ak from R. This R is the relation name. A1 to ak are the attributes which are present in R, and R is the relation name. This relation can be the implicit input relation you are taking into consideration, or the relation which may be constructed because of some algebraic expression, some relational algebra expression. Means in this case, in the previous case, what has happened? This, just a moment. This particular relational algebra expression has created one relation, and from which we are projecting the output. Okay. So in the formal definition, this R is actually the input relation or the intermediate created relation. Both can be there. The result is defined as the relation of k columns obtained by erasing the columns which are not listed. So we can definitely avoid which are not listed. And duplicate rows are removed from the result by default. The duplicate results are as we have seen in the example. And this way, to print account number with balances from account, I don't want the branch name. So project account number comma balance from account. I'll get a 2-column relation as the output. Okay, so this is the select and project operation. You please make this thing clear. If it is not clear, please go back and review the video so that these two concepts will be clear. Then only we can move further. The next operation is the union operation. I will really not explain this. Union is known to you. When we combine two sets, all the common will be listed first and all the rest of them will be listed later. So union operation, will not waste time on that. On this is the formal definition of union, which can be used in this way. R1 is unioned with R2. Again, R1 and R2 can be the relations directly or can be the intermediate relations generated. Only thing is we need to keep in mind that they both of them should have a same arity. So union is done with this symbol, and on a very similar grounds you have set intersection operation. In intersection, only common elements from both the participating relations will be displayed. Okay, so union and intersection. Intersection is symboled this way. So these are the two set operations which we have been using it several times or from several years. So I will not go in much details of that. Similarly, set difference. R minus S. All the occurrences from R except the occurrences from S. Okay, here also we will not. I will not spend time. So set difference and union and intersection. These three operations are known to you, and you are comfortable with that. So I am not going to. And a common thing in all the three operations is all both the participating relations must have the same arity in this case. Okay, then only we can perform union, intersection, and set difference. So this is equivalent to the except operation in SQL. Now coming to the most important aspect in our discussion of relational algebra, that is Cartesian product operation. This Cartesian product operation is the operation which you have already learned, that is the cross product. In this case, what happens if, say, there are two relations R and S. There are two relations R and S. In that case, what will happen here? The multiplication of these two will take place. That means every row of R will be combined with all the rows of S. That means this row will become multiplied with this, then this, then this, and then this. So every row of R will be multiplied, will be combined with all the rows of S. Similarly, this will also be there. The second row will also be multiplied with all the 4. Okay, so resulting into a bigger relation in this way. Okay, bigger relation into this way. What will happen here? What will happen in here is, it is known to you, we are just revising, but in the context of a database management system, first row will be multiplied with all 4, resulting into 4 rows in the report, in the result, and second row will also be multiplied with all the 4 rows, adding more 4 rows in the resultant. So rows will be multiplied, and columns will be added. Okay, so if R has two columns and S has 3 columns, in total the resultant is going to have 5 columns: A, B from R, C, D, E from S. And in case if R have 2 rows and S has 4 rows, those will be multiplied. Those will be multiplied, resulting into 8 rows in the output. Okay, 2 into 4 will happen and 2 into 3 will happen in case of number of columns. Okay, so rows will be multiplied and columns will be added in this case. Okay, this is the Cartesian product, and this plays a very important role because every time you use more than one relation in a query, it may be any query language, it may be SQL, RA, or for that matter QL or QBE. If you are making use of more than one relation in a query, by default the Cartesian product operation will be executed, because all the clauses, all the operations in query language will operate only on a single table. That you need to remember. So we need to form a single table every time when we combine more than one relation. So in SQL, when you are listing out 2 or 3 relations in from clause, basically all those 2 or 3 relations will be multiplied and the condition will be applied on only that single table, that huge multiplication table. That you need to take care. Okay, so we'll go for a small example here. We'll make the thing more clear. Let us see this example. Each tuple T1 of R1 with pair each tuple of T1 of R1 with each tuple T2 of R2. Means, see here, R1 has a student ID, uh, BID, and a day. Okay, and we have student ID, student name, rating, and age. So what's happening here? That you see, these two are multiplied. So this first row is multiplied with all 4 of them. As I said, what first thing will happen? What first thing will happen? Columns will be added. So 3 columns here, 4 columns here, resulting into 7 columns in this. Right? 7 columns into this. So 3 from this, 4 from this. SID, BID, day from this, and SID, SName, rating, and age from the S1. Okay, and second thing is rows will be multiplied. So this first row you can see, or it is taken in a reverse way. This row will be multiplied with both the rows here. You find here the same row is multiplied with the first row of R1 and then the second row of R1. Then the second row of S1 is multiplied with, see, these both are same, is multiplied with the first and second row. So this way it is generating a huge table. This is a very small example of 2 and 3 rows in the table. If you have simply 10 rows in one table and 20 rows in other table, you are going to have a table of 200 rows on which you are going to operate. Okay, and second thing you'll have to observe is SID. SID is a common or similar attribute. Still we are maintaining 2 tables for it, sorry, 2 columns for it, because first belongs to S1 and second belongs to, this belongs to S1 and this belongs to R1. So the dot operator will always be used with this. Are you understanding? This is the most important operation as far as relational algebra is concerned, and every time we make use of more than one relations in one query, this operation will be definitely performed. Now just I want you to recall 2 aspects in SQL. One query in which I am listing out 2 or 3. Let us say that I am listing out 3 attributes. 3 attributes in one table. One is of, let us say that one is of 10 into 10 size. That's 10 rows and 10 columns. Another is of 10 into 20 size. Okay, sorry, 20 into 20 rows and 10 size, 10 elements. And third is 30 into 10. I just simply listed them into 3 in one from clause in one single query. So before executing anything, are these three relations, those are R1, R2 and R3, will be fetched. A Cartesian product of that will be formed, and then only the where condition will be applied on that table. So this a resultant of this the Cartesian product of this will be columns will be added. I am going to have 30 columns. No matter it is having similar attribute or not, they are going to be treated as separate, as SID is treated here. And then 10 into 20 is 200 into 30 is 6000. So basically it looks very small when I am treating it separately, but when Cartesian product is formed, my where condition is applied on a table of 6000 by 30. Such a huge intermediate result is formed. That is why we are taking or we are opting for nested queries. In nested queries, the Cartesian product will not be formed, and every relation will be individually accessed and the conditions will be individually applied upon. That's the benefit of your nested queries in SQL. Okay, so I hope you have understood about Cartesian product. This Cartesian product is used everywhere very frequently. Now apparently we are going to use it in the array. There we are just listing out in the from clause, so we were not understanding what exactly happening at the back end. But when we will mention at the in array, every time we mention it will be understandable for us that how many times we are forming a product, and how it is going to affect the intermediate results. Okay, that is why some database systems or some database softwares are taking huge memory, huge primary memory into consideration. Fine. So this is about the formal definition about of the Cartesian product, where R into S will be formed. In this case, it will happen in this way, that is TQ will be combined together, where T are from relation R and Q are from relation S, and 100% these may be disjoint. It's not necessary that they should share a common attribute. It may be possible that they share common attributes, but even if they are totally distinct, totally disjoint, we can still form a Cartesian product of that. Okay, and if I am performing an operation of R into R, that means same is will be coming across some queries where same will table, same relation will be used twice. At that time we'll have to rename it. Okay, so these are the basic operations. In just now in our discussion right now, we have seen select operation, which is equivalent to the where clause and helping us to put a predicate on the relation so that the output will satisfy that predicate. So select operation is used to apply the conditions. Project operation is used, which is equivalent to the select clause in SQL, is used for projecting only selected attributes from the in the output table. Then we have union, we have intersection, we have um, your uh, except or set difference operation and Cartesian product. And as I said you earlier, I can combine many operations together. I can have Cartesian product, project operation, and select operation uh, in the same query. It is possible. Okay, that we are going to write. And last is the as operation, where we are trying to rename it. As I said you earlier, we can rename any expression. We can rename the existing table also if we are using it twice in the same query, or if you want to name a particular intermediate output expression, I can make use of row symbol and very easily I can rename it as row symbol. X is the new name and E is the expression or the relation mm, uh, which is producing a table. Okay, so it returns the expression E under the name X. So rename operation. So these are the 6-7 operations which we have seen, basic operations of array. Using this, we are going to write some queries. In our discussion, we are going to uh, get the problem statement. We will try to write the query in SQL and its array equivalent. Again, I am repeating that. Please go through SQL, practice it once more. In the next lecture, we will practice few queries related to array. Thank you very much.